Hi, friends. It's Mike Connor here, and I just wanted to speak a little bit about self-confidence and how we work with self-confidence in the Insight seminars. It is a core focus of the work we do, and it's something that so many of us work with in our life, a sense of self-confidence and self-trust. And the first aspect of self-confidence is knowing who you are, having a real sense of knowing yourself, knowing what matters to you, knowing your values, or what we say, having a sense of your heart's truest purpose. The reason for that is if you're not aware of really who you are, what matters to you, you can sometimes make agreements in your life or commitments that aren't really aligned with what really matters to you or a sense of who you are. And when we make those kind of agreements or commitments, almost always we don't follow through. We end up breaking those agreements. And so first and foremost is kind of knowing yourself. And the whole Insight journey is around self-awareness, self-knowledge, and connecting to a deeper sense of purpose that is your guide. And it becomes so important that your agreements, your commitments, and really how you set up your life are aligned to that within you. Because if they're not, chances are you're not going to keep those agreements, you're not going to keep those commitments. And it's the next thing that we really look at in the seminar, which is when we don't keep our agreements and we don't keep our commitments, we actually erode our trust in ourselves. That there's a relationship between different parts of ourselves. And when we make an agreement, make a commitment, whether it's to ourselves or somebody else, and we don't follow through and keep it, we actually erode our self-trust. We erode our self-confidence, and we find ourselves less confident. However, when we align our agreements to those things that matter most to us, when we're clear about who we are, and we do follow through and keep our agreements and follow through on our commitments, we actually gain more self-trust. We gain more self-confidence. We feel more powerful. And this provides us with the foundation effectively to believe our own word. When we believe ourselves and our own word, because that word is connected back to our sense of purpose, we become powerful. We become powerful and positive creators in our life. And so that's really the journey we go through in Insight, understanding yourself, kind of connecting to a deeper sense of purpose that we call your heart's purpose, really working to be clear to align your agreements and commitments around that sense of purpose and who you are, and then really practicing following through, keeping your agreements, keeping your commitments, and really staying clean with yourself. I know that we live in lives that sometimes it's challenging. We sometimes break our agreements. But how do we then really stay clean, acknowledge that, and come back to center so we can be consistent in our agreements, align those agreements and commitments with our sense of purpose, and really follow through on that. So my invitation is if you haven't done the Insight one or even if you have taken some of the Insight seminars, come back to that kind of core foundation of how you can practice aligning with yourself, making sure your agreements and commitments are aligned to your sense of purpose, and then really practicing following through, keeping your agreements, keeping your commitments, and really staying clean with yourself. So again, thank you for listening, and looking forward to seeing you sometime soon.